Okay. Hi. So I'm doing this. I'm actually doing this right now. I woke up this morning and I was like, today is the day. I'm recording it because I've been wanting to do this like for a really long time and I keep talking about it and not doing it. And today I just yes, something clicked. I feel good. I feel like it's the time. So, this is my first podcast or voiceover or whatever it is. Me talking over a footage of myself in Hong Kong for my internet friends, which is you. Hi. Thanks for being here. I'm excited about it. I'm genuinely excited, which is funny because my life is objectively chaotic right now, but we will get into that. The thing that kicked this off. Okay, I've been doing this thing lately where I give myself a pep talk in the morning, like out loud in the mirror, which a year ago I will physically cringe into another dimension. That is peak standing in your bathroom talking to yourself like a motivational poster energy, and I did it, and I like it. Actually, it worked, and kind of what is happening to me vibes I'm in. I literally looked at myself this morning and I was like, you are in Hong Kong. Things are weird, but you are going to figure it out and you are going to do something today that makes you proud. And then I went out and got a coffee and walked around. And now I'm back and here recording this for you guys. And honestly, the pep talk might be working because a month ago I would not have had the balls to press a record. So take that, pass me. Current me is unhinged and thriving, low key, sort of. We'll get into the sort of part. Anyway, my life is in genuinely weird place right now, and I want to talk about it with you, not in a created Instagram caption way, but in a I'm processing this in real time, and you're along the right way. Just thinking out loud. So I got laid off. I know, super fun. Love that for me. And like people get laid off all the time. I get it. It's not the end of the world, but here's the thing that really got me. I was good at my job. Like I wasn't phoning in it, whatever. I wasn't scrolling through my phone in the meetings, pretending to take notes. I was genuinely performing well, building things, creating things, bringing people in, delivering results, the whole thing. And it just like didn't matter because apparently they all grew up in believing in this unspoken deal that's like be good at what you do and you get to keep going. That's the agreement. Work hard, get rewarded, trajectory goes up, and I believe that. I really believe that, and it turns out the deal is fake. Like nobody signed that deal. It doesn't exist. I would love to speak with the manager of the social contract because I have some complaints. And I know this. I work in crypto. I worked in startups. I understand that companies make structural decisions, and sometimes those decisions have nothing to do with you or how good you are. I get the economics, but like, okay, you know how everyone always like heartbreak hurts, and you're like, oh yeah, I know, like obviously, and then you get dumped and you're lying on your floor at 2 a.m. like, oh, this is different thing entirely. Like it hits different when you live. This is not what I was told. Like that's what getting laid off when you are doing well feels like. It's a professional version of getting dumped when you thought things were going great, and they didn't give the give me a severance, which I don't know if people know this can just happen. Like one day you have a job and then the night at night you just like don't, and you're lying there like, okay, so all the stuff I committed to while I had an income, the conference sign up for the flights booked, like just all the things I invested, just like the way I was living my life as a person who gets paid, all of that that is still happening, but the getting paid part stopped, and that's a fun little math problem to solve at midnight, right? But okay, I don't want to make this about the money episode because here is what I figured out that actually scared me more than the money stuff. I have so much more to lose than money. I have momentum. I have this community I've been nurturing. I have ideas that are in motion, relationships, a reputation. Like money is a problem. Problems have solutions. You can figure it out money, but losing the thread of what you're building, nurturing, losing the confidence to show up and say things like this. That's the stuff that keeps me up at night. Like, that's the stuff that's actually hard to rebuild. I didn't fail though. Like, I need to say that. I'm still kind of convincing myself, but I need to say it out loud. I didn't fail. The situation fails. And those are very different things. Okay, moving on before I get emotional about it. So the actual current situation is kind of absurd. Like I described to you as movie pitch you would like. That's not realistic. Nobody's life that contradictory, but here we are. I'm in Hong Kong. I spoke on a panel last week about community building and brand and culture, which are like my favorite things to think about. I literally think about how communities form and evolve and develop their own cultures the way some people think about sports statics. It's my thing. And the panel went really well. People came up after and wanted to keep talking with me. And I was like, in that moment, like, oh, wait, I actually had things to say and that people want to hear and they care about, which felt amazing. But also, there is this very specific flavor of imposter syndrome where you're standing on the stage talking about building things. And in the back of your mind, you're like, girl, you're literally got fired. Who are you right now? But you know what? I think it went well because of what I'm going through right now. Because I wasn't up there reciting some framework I read on Twitter. I wasn't like I was talking from the place where all the theory I've spent years developing meets the actual chaos of being real person whose life got shaken. And I think people can tell the difference. I really do. So anyway, I'm now walking around Hong Kong with a camera and like the footage looks great. If you just saw the footage, you will think, oh, she's thriving, she girl having her best life in Hong Kong. And the parts of that are genuinely true. Like this morning was walking through this market and all the vendors were out and the light was doing this its thing where it was like hitting all the steam from the food stalls and it looked like it was like basically a movie. And I had this moment of like, this is why I want to make this. This is the feeling. And then literally 10 seconds later, my brain goes like, okay, but what's your runway through? Like, have you checked your bank app today? You should check your bank app. And suddenly I'm standing in the most beautiful market in the Hong Kong doing mental arithmetic, which is okay. That's just my life right now. Peak beauty and financial anxiety existing at in the same 10 seconds window. Very fun, super normal. Things are in motion though. Like when you think about it, things are in motion. I'm handling my shit. I just also happen to be making the best creative work of my life. Like I'm just comparing myself with myself, by the way. And I'm handling my shit, which is part that I genuinely cannot explain, which brings me to this thing I actually want to talk about. So, since I got laid off, my creative brain has been absolutely unhinged. And I don't mean that in a cute way. I don't mean I turn my setbacks into comeback or whatever people put on LinkedIn. I mean I wake up at 3 a.m., like literally 3 a.m. last night, in this hotel room and my brain simultaneously having panic attacks about the future and coming up with my best ideas I've had like in 5 years at the same time, which should not be possible, but apparently it is. So like I'm lying there in the dark staring at the ceiling going, how am I going to pay these things? Also, oh my god, what if I did this project and this project, this and like blah 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 blah, like yeah, so many ramblings in my brain. And I'm like brain, babe, can we pick a lane? Like are we spelling or are we creating? Like are you fine? Like and the answer is apparently both. We are doing both at 3 a.m. in Hong Kong in a beautiful hotel room. Okay. Like it doesn't feel like pressure creates diamonds. It feels like being dragged by two horses running in opposite directions. Very medieval indeed. Very medieval and not very glamorous. 0% of this looks like a montage. But the ideas are actually good. Like I know the difference when ideas comes from inspiration and the ideas comes from desperation because I've had both. Desperate ideas are frantic and shallow and they don't hold up in the morning. Like these ones hold up. Like they're like connected to stuff I've been thinking about for years. It's like losing my job broke down some wall between me and my actual creative brain, and now I'm just like can access it in a way I couldn't before. And I think it's because when you have a job that takes most of your mental energy, you're creative, but you're creative inside someone else's framework, which is also fine. But that's just like what a job is. Like that's normal. But like now my creative energy is just like going everywhere. Like fire horse, someone dropped, very powerful, very chaotic, pointing in like so many different dimensions at the same time. And I want to go on a tangent because my brain just made a connection and I want to follow it before I lose it. So, like in crypto, there's a concept called leverage. Basically, you borrow money to make a bigger bet than you afford. And if it works, like huge returns. If doesn't, you get liquidated. You lose everything. Your position like moves against you and you couldn't cover it. And I realize I'm leverage trading with my actual life right now, not with money, like time, energy, reputation, and also money actually. Being publicly vulnerable for the first time ever, I've gone all in on myself and the clock is ticking. And if this works out, it's going to be incredible. And if it doesn't, I mean, I will figure it out. I think I'm going to keep doing it. It's like, I love it. And there's this thing about leverage that I think really important and also kind of devastating. You can get liquidated even when you are right. Like your analysis can be perfect and you still get wrecked because of timing or like random cascade that has nothing to do with you. And isn't that just like life is basically? So I was right about my skills and my work, my value. I got liquidated anyway. That's just what happened. Okay, wait. I want to come back to the pep talk thing because I think something is really happening in there and I'm kind of freaked out about it. So, I've never been a manifestation person. Okay, it's a lie. I'm kind of like a manifestation person, but I'm more like shut up and do the work and get the results kind of person. So here's what I think the pep talk actually are. Like every morning, there are two voices. The anxiety voice is like you're running out of time. What are you doing filming yourself in Hong Kong? Who do you think you are? This is embarrassing, blah, blah, blah. The pep talk is just giving the possibility voice a head start because, like, the anxiety voice does not help. The anxiety voice has been doing wind sprints since 3 a.m. At 3 a.m last night and it's fully warmed up and running laps by the time I open my eyes. Like I possibly voice is still in bad hitting snooze. So the pep talk is just like, hey, wake up, you're on. And the weird part is it's working. Pep talk is working if you talk to yourself. Not in a woo-woo way, but in practical way. When you start the day possibility mode, you show up differently. You follow up on things like that the anxious version of you wouldn't have. So the pep talk doesn't change the universe, it changes your behavior and it works. But I need to get more data before I fully commit to that. Okay, I think what I've been circling around this whole time, and I'm literally just arriving at it right now, which is very on brand for me, is this like I was using stability as an excuse. I can't start this project. I have a job. I can't put myself out there. Like what will people think about me? I'm imperfect. It's like I'm not really good at this, blah blah blah. And now the excuse is gone and I've tasted what it feels like to work on my own things, my own voice, my own ideas, and something shifted that I don't think can unshift. Whatever comes next, I'm keeping this. The cringe is useful data also. If it makes me cringe, I care about it. It means that I care about it. Things that don't matter don't make you cringe, right? The interesting stuff lives on the other side of the cringe. I didn't believe that a month ago. I believe it now. 3 months ago, if you told me I would be in Hong Kong recording a podcast, doing morning pep talks, I haven't spoken at a panel, I would say, like, yeah, this is, I don't know, not very possible, right? I don't know, maybe the plan was keep my job and be strategic, just do the work, do the live streams. And the plan didn't work out because like the universe did not sign my 5 year plan. The universe doesn't know about my 5 year plan and the universe is out here doing whatever it wants. And the 5-year plan is just like a document on your computer that makes you, me feel better when we are anxious, right? Probably that's true. Or it's also conditions you, but that's not a contract. Which is fair. I love good anxiety management document, but let's not confuse that with a control. So that's the only thing I can control. The only thing I can control is what I make and how I show up. And once you accept that, once I accept that completely, everything simplifies. Not easier, but simpler. I want to. What do I want to have built when the next unpredictable thing hits? Like you're more focusing on that. This and this kind of things I want to have built. Okay, I think I'm done. I lost track of time, which is maybe a good sign, or maybe a sign that I'm losing my mind a little bit, or both. So I'm in Hong Kong. I woke up early in the morning, go and get a coffee, wait for my friend to arrive because she's gonna stay with me tonight before the conference. And she arrived, and I actually want her to leave, tell her to leave so that I can record this podcast. Already kind of rude of me, but I have to. Like I was like, I have to record this podcast, and I can go out later after I do this. I have to do this. So today I made this, and that's enough. And I will post my video, which is you're seeing today. That was the first one. I'm not listening back because I will delete it probably. And we are already did the pep talk and everything, so we are fully committed to it right now. It exists, so okay, cool. If you're in that weird space, okay, I'm gonna give you a pep talk. If you're in that weird space between what ended and what hasn't started, I hope this made you feel less alone because I realize that I feel less alone having said these things out loud, and maybe that's the whole point. All right, now I'm gonna get ready and get a food and meet my friends that arrived in here in Hong Kong, and it's getting late. I need to go to an event, so see you in the next one. Very ambitious for me, but we are going to do it. Bye.